People who work at Bunnings are the dumbest motherfuckers on this planet.
I did used to work at Bunnings.
No one wants to hear your fucking hardware problems, Flan.
G'day everyone. Welcome to Flogs. I'm joined by Craig Newman. Hi Craig.
Hello.
Our podcast is not for kids. Kids, if you're listening,
Go.
don't just maybe tune out. Even that works. Okay, so today's episode, we're going to be talking Flog Incorporated. We're talking the Big Green Shed, Bunnings warehouse.
I thought you meant the big green shed where they stash all those bodies that people paid for funerals for.
No, we're not talking about that shed.
Although Bunnings, there does seem to be a lot of people that are very dead behind the eyes.
Whose soul has left their bodies.
Yes.
Yes, that is true. So, look, this might cause a bit of a controversy. You know, people love Bunnings and just are all about it.
People don't have a choice.
Yes, that is true. So, look, I'm going to be a bit biased because I did used to work at Bunnings.
Are you going to tell us all of their corporate secrets?
Yep, I certainly am. Okay, this is a news story from 2018. Bunnings Bank of Hours staffing regime triggers complaints as hardware chain confirms review. So I think it might have stopped now, but what they used to do when I worked there is they would send staff home during slow periods to make up the hours in peak times. So they didn't have to pay overtime. Right, okay, so what they do is they average out your hours over the year and then they say, and then you've got a bank of hours. So what would happen when I worked there is, for example, in winter, it's quieter. So on a Tuesday, I'd be rostered 6 hours to work instead of my usual 8-hour shift. So then that meant that I would owe Bunnings 2 hours that then they could cash in the busier period and then roster me to do a 9 or a 10-hour day in that busier period.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's smart.
It is, yeah. It's smart business. But I personally didn't agree with it. I went up to my boss, I think it was the 2IC, and said, look, I just think this is not really right. You say we've got this bank of hours, so this flexible working thing, but you're making me work extra hours when I don't get a choice, and then you're not giving me my full hours. Like, it was meaningless to me to finish 2 hours earlier on like a Tuesday. So it just, to me, it was just a way of fucking over their employees.
That would work out well if you had karate early on a Tuesday, so you wouldn't be late.
Yeah, that's true. But if that was the case, then I would say, okay, can I please finish earlier on a Tuesday because I've got karate, and then I'll make up the hours, elsewhere.
When it's busy.
So, yeah, yeah, when it's busy. So, and that's the thing, and it's a way of them not having to pay overtime. And the result of me voicing that to the 2IC at the time meant that it was a significant time that I was given a permanent full-time position because I'm professional and, friendly and so I wasn't rude or aggressive or anything like that. But I was seriously punished for speaking out about it, which was a culture, and I'm not sure if it's changed or not. But
is there anything worse than a 2IC?
Yeah,
really?
True. Yeah. It was legal under the Fair Work Act, but they realised that it was a really fucked thing of them to do, and I believe now that they don't do it anymore.
Oh, you caused change.
I wish I had, but no, they stopped doing that years after I left. So, yes. The Bunnings Chief Operating Officer, Debbie Poole, said the Bank of Hours system provided benefits to team members as well as customers, but confirmed it was being reviewed.
What was the benefit to the team members?
I don't know.
They could make it to their early Tuesday karate class. Yeah, that's pretty cooked.
Yeah. So that's pretty fucked. All right. So then this article is from April 2024. Bunnings was being accused of abusing its market power. So nursery operators who supplied plants to Bunnings accused the hardware chain of abusing its market power and forcing them to sign unfair contracts. Bunnings, though, says some of the accusations are not true. And it's urging its suppliers to go directly to them to report their concerns.
Yes, because don't go to the media, come to us.
Yeah, that's it, yeah. Look, so the accusations are not true. Sorry, what? Some of the accusations are not true. Sorry, did you just say some of the accusations are not true? Yeah.
You're putting words in my mouth. I said the accusations weren't true. What I preface that with is irrelevant.
Exactly, yeah. So they were to appear at a Senate inquiry into supermarket prices in Canberra. Suppliers of garden plants to Australia's biggest hardware chain, Bunnings, are reporting treatment from the company allegedly so severe that the resulting stress on nursery owners has threatened marriages and left some feeling like slaves and serfs.
Wow, that's good.
Yep. So one current supplier who was fearful of going public in case the company sued them. Yeah. Told ABC News that supplying potted plant to the company was not just unprofitable, but in some cases its supply terms saw them sell to the company at a loss. After many years.
They just sound like fucking good business people to me.
Yeah, well, they are.
You will sell us these plants
at
this price, but that's half the price of what it costs us to get this plant there. We don't give a shit.
That's it. We will sue you.
We will sue you. And if we've got nothing to sue you for, we will fucking kill you.
Exactly, that's it. You will end up in a bag of fucking blood and bone in the garden section in a minute.
Yeah, we'll write off a few bags of rapid set concrete while you're rotting at the bottom of a river.
Exactly, yeah. So, after many years supplying the retailer, that grower said their small business was earning so little off their contract that they did not need to pay any income tax and were only going to be able to retire by selling off their nursery. Virtually treated as serfs, the nursery owner said on condition of anonymity. They wound our business into the dirt. So it left them feeling vulnerable, fearful of raising conversations about raising prices in case orders disappeared.
Wouldn't it be good if their orders disappeared, if they're selling at a loss? I mean, I'm no nursery businessman, but to me, it does seem a bit silly to sell things at less than what you bought them for.
Yes. I just can't imagine Bunnings going to you, Craig's nursery, and going, okay, Craig, I know it costs you $5 a tree to grow and get to us. Now we're going to offer to buy those trees off you for 50 cents each. What do you say?
No, thanks.
Well, yeah. So, look, I don't think that's how it's happened. So, just basically bullying. Boomeroo Nurseries sent its last shipment of plants to Bunnings last week as the company decided to exit its contract after 11 years. They said it's been tiring, it's been draining. It's also been a little bit liberating. He said every time we requested a price increase, some kind of threat was made to make you feel like you're asking for something that's completely terrible. So we dropped the price discussion completely for fear of having our prices go down rather than go up. Mr. Smith raised concerns about the lack of guaranteed orders, said the company spent $4.5 million building up a facility on encouragement from Bunnings to produce new types of plants, and then found orders dwindled or were cancelled. Not good, Bunnings. Not good at all. Mike Schneider, the Bunnings chief executive, sent an email to growers early last week where he urges them to report feedback directly to Bunnings or through its anonymous whistleblower reporting system.
Anonymous.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yep.
Come and see us anonymously.
Yeah.
Are they going to sue you for
Making this podcast?
Talking about them in a bad way?
Yeah, probably. Okay, next one. Bunnings boasts about its price-beating guarantee, but for 9,000 products, there's a catch. So I don't have the year that this is from, but the Bunnings Group, including its 310 warehouse stores, delivered almost $19 billion in revenue last year.
Jesus.
Yeah. In the Bunnings slogans, everyone's heard, a promise to beat a competitor's price on the same stocked item by 10%. But there's a catch. While Coles and Woolworths have been under intense scrutiny, Bunnings, which has a much higher profit margin than either of them, has mostly escaped attention. With its massive reach, how Bunnings sets prices and competes matters to millions of Australians. But are customers actually getting the deal they think they are? Price guarantee. Say you wanted to buy a ladder, for example. On TV, Bunnings advertised a Cyco 0.9 metre three-step ladder alongside its promise, where you find a competitor's low price on the same stocked item will beat it by 10%. But there is no competitor that stocks the Cyco 0.9 metre ladder because Cyco is a Bunnings home brand. Not only is it manufactured for Bunnings, Bunnings actually owns the Cyco trademark. And that's far from the only item. So they've got more than 9,000 home brand products. And also because it's not like the brands are like Bunnings brand. It's like, you know, Jumbuck, Trojan, Ryobi, Azedo, all of these brands are Bunnings exclusive or Bunnings owned companies. So John Dawson, a competition lawyer and former chairman of Woolworths, thinks it's misleading. The 10% thing is illusionary, and working out what's a Bunnings home brand isn't simple. So its ownership of Cyco, the brand behind the ladder, isn't clearly disclosed on the packaging, the products themselves or in store, and on the Bunnings website they're sold like any other brands. You have to search Australia's trademark register or read parent company Wesfarmers' annual report before Bunnings ownership becomes apparent. So Jumbuck barbecues, Craft Right toolboxes, Marquee outdoor furniture, Mondella toilets and Happy Tales pet supplies. Trojan Tools even have their own website. The ACCC told Four Corners that retailers were not legally required to identify home brand products, but if an item was marketed as though it was produced by a third party, it might amount to misleading or deceptive conduct. And the company says it empowers staff to take a common sense approach and will price match on similar items. It doesn't mention that in their price policy on their website, though.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, again, I think that's just smart business. Good on them.
And says if a consumer was to find a similar item, which is not always easy, and then is successful in convincing a Bunnings staff member to apply the price guarantee, then the
At
hardware
their own
giant,
discretion.
then the hardware giant still only has to reduce the price on one item. Now, the interesting thing as well, when I worked there, right? So in the training, they would say, look, if someone comes up to you with any product whatsoever that's in Bunnings and it's $100 or less in value, and they say, I saw this in another shop for whatever, then you should just honour it, right? But in my experience, anytime someone would come in and say, I saw it on wherever, I want 10% cheaper, then we were expected to, and what most of the time we did, we'd need to see that evidence, and we need to see that it included delivery or whatever. If it was like online, so it was like this real witch hunt to try and prove the customer wrong. So it was pretty fucked, and that's the thing. And I just think it's unnecessary. And also because Bunnings has done so well to close down, all the home timber and hardwares, well, not all of them, but most of them, all the Mitre 10s or, competitors. So you don't really think about, getting a 10% discount at Bunnings because it's cheaper somewhere else, because there isn't somewhere else. Like, there isn't another hardware that you can go to.
No, I mean, they are struggling with that. What was it, $19 billion in profit?
Yep. So Bunnings rivals claim that despite its size and buying power, the big box retailer is actually not that much cheaper. So there's no data to independently verify that. So ABC's Four Corners ran its own limited survey over 95 basic hardware items. It's a rough basket of goods and by no means a complete analysis, but what we found surprised us. The difference between Bunnings and its local rivals is literally small change. So the savings barely cover a snag, is what they said.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Well, look, our parents owned a small hardware, and so our parents trying to run a hardware in a small town felt the effects of Bunnings kind of
but also just everyday idiots' perception of, I want to buy this plastic bucket. Oh, that'll be $3. I can get it for $2 at Bunnings.
Yeah.
Okay, you drive 60 Ks, get your $2 bucket, drive home, and sleep very well at night knowing that you got the best deal available.
Yeah, and I remember like people would come in and they'd have an item and they'd want to exchange it, and it was like, you didn't buy that from here. And then, that's right. No. And they're like, they had bought it from Bunnings and they're like, oh, well, you can just put it on your shelf or something. It's like, we don't buy our stock from customers at retail price.
That's bad business.
Yeah. So Bunnings claimed its market share is just 17%, but it's impossible to verify as Bunnings won't release detailed data.
Again, smart.
And it's able to claim to have such a small share of the market because it says it competes against almost every major retailer in the country. So it says its rivals include Coles, Woolworths, Kmart, Myer, JB Hi-Fi, Amazon, eBay, Kogan, Petstock, Pet Barn, and Aldi.
Facebook Marketplace, Good Sammy's, Salvation Army.
Yeah, that's it.
The Coffee Club, McDonald's.
Well, it probably does. It actually lists Spotlight as well as one of its competitors. I remember when I worked there, and that was a big thing. Like, our competitors are everyone. They're our competitor. Yeah. Name a shop. Okay. Toy World. Competitor. Yeah. Another shop. The barber shop. Competitor. Yeah.
My nan,
Fuck.
competitor.
Yeah.
Where is that bitch?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Oh, it's just unnecessary as well. They could not be cunts, but they don't. Yeah. And when I left Bunnings and I wrote my resignation letter, I wanted to write, thanks for all the opportunities. But I realised I'd worked there for 4 years and I hadn't actually been provided a single opportunity for those whole 4 years that I worked there. And, nepotism as well. Like, I had a diploma in retail management and years of experience working in retail hardware. And I applied for a job at Bunnings and didn't even get an interview. And then a bit later on, someone I knew worked at Bunnings and they put a good word in for me. And then I got an interview.
Did they put a good word in with the 2IC?
Yeah, I think they actually did. And the other interesting thing is to actually get employed, it was a group interview, which was fucking quite bizarre. So it was a group of like 20 people or something, and you're in a table of like 4 people, and they have some random things like some pop sticks and some pipe cleaners and stuff, and they're like, make a product and market it. Like, tell the rest of the people, what your product is and why they should buy it. Yeah, it's just in this group interview. And then, so if you got through the group interview, then they did a phone interview. And if you got through the phone interview, they did an in-person interview. And then if you got the in-person interview, then you got the job.
Fucking hell.
I know. I reckon it would have been easier to get into the army, hey, or like the police.
I think it would have been easier to get into ASIO.
Yeah, it was so frustrating working there because I would work my ass off and do, everything I could to try and get an opportunity, and nothing. It was literally like someone's mate or whatever. Like, it's just, the whole culture was just massive nepotism. And like, if you didn't pray to the holy Bunnings God and, never, like, if you weren't, happy about something, just don't fucking bring it up because, like, man, they can hold a grudge. It might have even been like a year or something after I'd mentioned about the Bank of Hours thing that until I got a permanent position. And it was only because my direct line manager spoke to the store manager and said, look, come on. And then, it kind of went from there. But yeah, it was like just really fucked.
I'm glad that this episode can alert the world to the absolute floggery that is Bunnings, but also be a therapeutic session for yourself.
Yeah, exactly. That's it. It's been good. And look, having said that, I worked with some great people.
Really? Name 3.
They know who they are. But no, I formed good relationships with the people I worked with. And yeah, I got along well with pretty much everyone. And there is good people that work there. And I really just feel sorry for those people now. So
fucking hating your life.
Exactly. That's it. Just praying for the day that a forklift ran over my head.
A couple of people that worked at Bunnings.
Well, our cousin works at Bunnings.
Really?
Yeah. Shout out to our cousin that works at Bunnings, if you're listening.
I didn't even know I had a cousin.
Yep. Works at Bunnings. And she loves it, apparently. So works in the goods inward. So good on her. But yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't recommend it. It's interesting because a lot of people say, oh, I'd love to work at Bunnings. And I'm like, yeah. And some people do love it.
I was going to say, I think it would be good a good place to work if you're older. You got plenty of free time. Do some casual work. Just like talk to people. Generally cruise around and be unhelpful and annoying, and get paid for it.
Yep, and get paid like not much money for it. But yeah, it's interesting because people say, "Oh, I'd love to work there," but no, it's actually fucked. It is so fucked. So if you're listening and you're thinking about it, don't do it.
And if you're our cousin, quit.
No, if you're our cousin and you're having fun, keep doing it. Why not?
If you're our cousin, send us an email.
Yeah, flogspodcast@gmail.com.
Yeah, not our personal one, so we won't check that.
Shout out to my old work friends, though, if you are listening. Thanks for joining us. Sorry that I haven't kept in touch, but the PTSD has kept me away. And I have been to that Bunnings once since I left to drop my uniforms off. I don't even know if anyone knows still works there. Oh, and do you know what? When I was there, my goal was to not get my 5-year PIN, because I knew that if I got my 5-year PIN, I had failed. Oh, actually, that's what I'd failed in life. All right, so knowing what you know, what would you give Bunnings on the Flogometer?
Look, I would give them a 9 out of 10 out of savvy business operation. As a flog.
9 out of 10 what?
For their business acumen.
As a business, so not that's not on the Flogometer.
No, that's a business acumen meter that I'm just starting.
Okay, cool. Yeah, all right. So they get a 9 out of 10 on the business acumen meter. Good.
Yeah.
And then what about the Flogometer?
I don't know, 6.
Yeah, fair enough. Look, I am biased. I'm going to give him a 7.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think 7's fair.
Yeah.
I was going to give them a 7, but I have to go there tomorrow to get some stuff, and I don't want them to charge
Actually,
me
fun.
more.
Also, they've just they'd originally been investigated for using facial recognition software.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, on people when they went in, and they've just won a challenge or whatever.
Yeah, it's
and
been
now they're
cleared.
allowed. Yeah, now they're allowed to do that. So, yeah, you've got to be careful if you want to shop there tomorrow. If they know what you look like, and
Well, that's why I'm going in a ski mask.
good. Smart. Also, you should return that machete that was faulty as well at the same time.
Yeah, and that the only bit of the power washer, the rest of it broke except for the pistol bit, which I'm carrying in my pocket.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it's so funny. When I did work there, if I think that person's a thief, then you do all these fake calls over the intercom. You'd be like, security to section C, to try and scare off the crims. There's no security, and there's no section C. But the crims, all the crims would be like, oh fuck. They're onto me. Cool. All right. Did you have anyone to nominate for Flog of the Week?
I actually do.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Fucking go you.
Yep.
All right. Let's hear it.
So this is a shared Flog of the Week. I want to nominate Australia in general and particularly the Ad Standards Community Panel.
Okay.
On the 28th of January, 2026, a Toyota ad was recalled, found in breach of and had complaints made against it. I don't know if you've seen the ad, but it's basically got a Hilux driving around and all these dogs jump in the back, and it's all CGI, and they get into town. And I think I'm just reading here. It's features several scenes where dogs chase and jump into the back of a Toyota Hilux. In the end, the vehicle appears to be carrying a large ball of dogs ready to go to work. A man watching this says even the dogs know you don't send a ute to do a Hilux job.
Okay.
Yep. And so because we are such a fragile bunch of fuckwits, complaints were received on the grounds that the ad depicts dangerous and potentially illegal behaviour. Dogs are meant to be tethered or otherwise safely transported to ensure safety while travelling. Some of the complainants noted that there are exceptions for muster dogs, but the ad does not reflect best practice or community standards for transporting dogs. So do not have a 6-foot-high ball of dogs unrestrained in the back of your ute.
Okay.
Man.
Good.
Fucking hell. That made me so mad. The advertiser responded that the ad is lighthearted and clearly relied on hyperbole. This is evident from elements such as a giant ball of dogs and, at the end, the on-screen text, no dogs were harmed in the making of this ad. A few utes were, though. Like, fucking hell. We just can't do anything any good anymore. Yeah, look, I don't really care that much about Hiluxes or anything like that.
Or the dog's safety.
Couldn't give a shit. And one of the comments, my wife is a vet nurse who has treated many dogs for ute tray injuries, mainly being thrown from the vehicle and burnt feet. All for the sake of people who think it is cool to have an unsecured or unprotected dog in the back of the ute. For fuck's sake, put them in the cab with you, toss away the flag you're hiding behind, and treat your dog with the respect it deserves. Man. It's just, and anyone that's like watches that ad, as I say, ball of dogs, not exaggerating. It is a massive pile of dogs, and it's obviously computer generated. If anyone looks at that and goes, oh, I don't need to worry about the lead for my dog. Look at this ute ad.
Yeah.
It's just so fucking pathetic.
All right, now, just quickly before we go, I did want to give a shout out to my old mate Dazza, who makes a podcast called 10 Cents and Nonsense. Dazza and Mike, they have a podcast where they drink beers and review them and, just talk about shit, and it's actually quite entertaining.
Yeah, it is pretty funny.
Yeah. So give them a listen. Go check them out. I did want to mention it was quite funny. I was caught up with Dazza inadvertently recently, and he then mentioned that on the last episode that they put out and said, I saw my mate Flan and had a listen to his podcast, and we should get him on. His podcast is called Two Flogs. So
it's no wonder he said. No wonder he said it was like a good listen. He was listening to a different podcast.
He was, yeah. So I have told them that ours is Flogs, not to be confused with Two Flogs, which is actually a successful podcast that people actually listen to. But so I think the invitation to go on as a guest might have got lost in the mail. They're like, oh, nah, sorry, but do you know the guys from Two Flogs? Because
we're keen to have one of them on.
That's a good podcast. You should check it out. But no, that was funny. All right, we'll see you in 2 weeks. Bye, everyone.
Bye.